will be explaining about this topic. Engineering itself is based on improving life, whether with less effort in terms of technology, efficiency, and availability. In terms of practical use, engineering process allow us to go through a series of different experiments. Although it is not like laboratory experiments, which involve controlled condition that is performed while learning, an engineer should be prepared to do the same on a social scale involving human objects. Experimentation is the most important aspect of the process design. From time to time, experimental experiments are performed to see how the new engineering concept works in its first rough prototype. An engineer will learn through experimentation in the process of developing a product. To put it simply, engineering as ethics social experimentation is a process of trial and error, and any experiment is conducted with partial ignorance. In this case, even the experiment result may not be what is expected. However, an engineer should be prepared for the unexpected output. Thank you.
Hi, I will talk about the types and characteristics for this topic. So the types of activity for this topic are, the first one is engineer project and the second one is standard experiments. There are similarities and difference between these both activities. So the similarities for these activities are, the first one is partial ignorance, the second one is uncertainty, the third one is continuous monitoring, and the last one is learning from the past. While the difference for these both activities are, the first one is experiment contract, the second one is human touch, the third one is informed consent, and the last one is knowledge gain. So now I will talk about the characteristic for this topic. Specific characteristic of engineer with moral responsibility are conscientiousness, relevant information, moral autonomy, and accountability. So conscientiousness implies to consciousness or a sense or awareness. An engineer should be aware of the unexpected things and behavior of the workers. Moral autonomy is the ability to think about moral issues critically and independently, and apply that moral thinking to situations that arise during the practice of professional engineering. So the last one is accountability. Accountability can be understood as the moral responsibility, liability, or obligation that one has towards own self-actions. Engineers should be ready to be willing to submit their actions to any type of moral study and to be responsive to the feedbacks from others regarding the designs and way of doing things. That's all from me. Thank you. So now I will be explaining about the method of social experimentation. Engineers often give open-ended solutions to possible problems that may encounter. Most problems came with different factors and conditions to be considered. Therefore, professional engineers must be able to analyze the main problem to the smallest details to gain the prompt design to suit the requirement. In reality, series of trial and error need to be done before applying to the actual solution to eliminate or reduce the risk. Social experimentation approach focuses more on the design process and not entirely on the minds of the engineers. So this is the flowchart of design experimentation.
The International Standard Organization has now detailed specification for certain products to be manufactured according to the specification. The organization has stated 4 aspects for the product quality, such as the quality of the product, the quality of service, safety of the product, and also the uniformity of physical properties and function. For the first aspect, which is quality, the purpose of quality is to value the product based on its price. We can say that what you see is what you get. For the quality of service, you must ensure that the product made is based on the ISO procedure. For the safety aspect, it is to safeguard against injury and also the property damage. As for the final aspect, which is the uniformity of physical properties, it is to ensure that the end user can use the product by easily assembling and for the maintenance purpose.
Engineering aesthetic social experiment involves humans in their experimentation and where the engineer have done their experiment and they would need to take responsible of the risk and the decision they have done in that experiment. So in my example here, I'll be explaining about the case study of Challenger. The case study is called Challenger, which is a space shuttle that has been launched by NASA and where the space shuttle exploded because of the external fuel tank. And this happened because the NASA, they did not address about the issue even though they were aware of it. Actually, their primary goal of this mission was to launch the second tracking and data relay satellite. So in here, they have known that the problem had occurred before in the first time, but they still tried to do the second time in order to know the space shuttle will work